In the top stories, Prime Minister Drew praises effects of 90-day consultation on crime. Antigua and Barbuda proposes CARICOM vaccine fund amid global health concerns. And judge to decide on blocking Trump's birthright citizenship order. Hello and welcome to the ZIZ Midday Newscast. Today is Friday, February 7th, 2025. I'm your presenter, Shanique Harvey. Nationally, Prime Minister, the Honorable Dr. Terence Drew, has praised the effects of the 90-day consultation on crime. Speaking at his monthly round-table discussion, the Prime Minister, who is also the Minister of National Security, said the data-driven consultation first identified what were the major causes of what he deemed a public health issue.
Coming out of that, the data showed, for example, family issues is the number one when you rank them. The number one issue is family issue. That is the number one issue. And therefore, we started the process of training family counselors. So we train about 20 family counselors. And we're going to train more family counselors so that we can have family counselors and people can intervene in families to resolve matters. The other matter is peer pressure is one of them. And therefore, we have to deal with it. If there are economic issues like unemployment, we have to deal with it. But we have the data. So we're not shooting in the dark. Coming out of...
We'll have more on this report during our evening newscast. The Ministry of Health in the Nevis Island Administration, or NIA, Health Promotion Health Information Unit, HIU, has announced a continued decrease in HIV cases, underscoring the success of the Nevis HIV/AIDS Coordinating Unit's strategic efforts. In alignment with the Sustainable Development Goals, or SDGs, Nevis aims to achieve the UNAID's targets by 2030. The HIU's latest report, released on February 3, 2025, shows just 3 new HIV cases in 2023, 2 males and 1 female, bringing the total since 1987 to 87 cases. According to the press release issued by the Ministry of Health, heterosexual contact remains the primary mode of transmission, with the highest prevalence in individuals aged 25 to 49 years. The island's HIV prevalence remains below 1%, with declines in both new infections and AIDS-related deaths, indicating the effectiveness of local prevention and treatment efforts. The HIV/AIDS Coordinating Unit has been pivotal in prevention, care, advocacy, data collection, and program management. By the end of 2023, 21 individuals were receiving free antiretroviral therapy, with no reported medication shortages. In 2023, 298 individuals, 106 males, and 192 females underwent HIV testing, reflecting a 6% increase from the previous year. The report highlighted concerns about low condom use, 12%, and a high incidence of multiple sexual partners at 27%. To address these concerns, free rapid HIV testing continues at 3 health centers, with same-day results to encourage regular screening. Educational sessions, condom distribution, and behavior change communication campaigns are also ongoing. Nevis has maintained its WHO PAHO validation for the elimination of mother-to-child transmission of HIV and syphilis. However, challenges in reaching key populations remain, and the HIV/AIDS Coordinating Unit plans to expand outreach, education, and testing to further reduce transmission and improve care. Deshaun Daniel, a resident of Sandy Point, St. Kitts, has been sentenced for possessing cocaine and for possession with intent to supply following his guilty plea to both charges. The sentencing was carried out on January 31, 2025 at the District B Magistrate Court in Sandy Point, with Her Honor Mrs. Karen Hill Hector presiding. For the charge of possession of cocaine, Daniel was cautioned. For the charge of possession with intent to supply, he was fined 1,500 Eastern Caribbean dollars, which must be paid by February 28, 2025. Failure to pay the fine will result in a 3-month imprisonment. We move now to news on the regional scene. Antigua and Barbuda will propose the creation of a dedicated CARICOM vaccine fund at the upcoming regional heads of government meeting, addressing concerns over global health security vulnerabilities. The decision comes amid growing uncertainty about small states' access to vaccines and essential medicines, particularly in light of the U.S. administration's plans to withdraw from the World Health Organization, or WHO. The proposed fund would provide Caribbean nations with a financial buffer, allowing them to independently purchase vaccines in the event of future health crises. This initiative comes as concerns grow over the potential impact of reduced WHO funding, with the U.S. being one of the organization's largest financial contributors. The loss of U.S. support could limit smaller nations' access to vital medical resources during pandemics, forcing them to rely on the commercial vaccine market. Grenada has introduced a new citizenship by invitation initiative aimed at attracting global business leaders and innovators. Announced by the Investment Migration Agency, or IMA, the program targets individuals with expertise in technology, renewable energy, infrastructure, and entrepreneurship to help drive the country's development. Developed in partnership with Arton Capital and Forbes Global Talent, the initiative follows Grenada's decision to reshape its citizenship by investment program after halting Russian applications. The program maintains strict due diligence standards and focuses on fostering local entrepreneurship, knowledge transfer, and global networking. IMA Grenada CEO Thomas Anthony emphasized that the initiative goes beyond investment, aiming to build a network of contributors to Grenada's long-term progress. Internationally, a federal judge in Boston will consider today a request from 18 state attorneys general to block President Donald Trump's executive order to end birthright citizenship for children of parents in the U.S. illegally. This follows recent rulings in Seattle and Maryland, where judges issued blocks on the order. The plaintiffs argue that birthright citizenship is protected by the 14th Amendment and that Trump lacks the authority to change it. They also warn that the order would deprive states of crucial funding for services like health care and foster care. The case centers on the 14th Amendment's guarantee of citizenship to all born in the U.S. The Trump administration claims that children of non-citizens are not entitled to citizenship, but states contend the amendment has long recognized such rights, including in the 1898 Supreme Court ruling, United States v. Wong Kim Ark. And finally, in international news, President Donald Trump signed an executive order on Thursday imposing sanctions on the International Criminal Court, or ICC, over its investigation into Israeli officials, including Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. The ICC issued an arrest warrant for Netanyahu related to his military response in Gaza following a Hamas attack. The order accuses the ICC of illegitimate actions, stating the court has no jurisdiction over the U.S. or Israel. It threatens sanctions, including asset freezes and travel restrictions on ICC officials. Human rights groups have condemned the sanctions, arguing they hinder global justice efforts. While the U.S. and Israel have long criticized the ICC, Trump's action follows previous U.S. sanctions against the court. Some European nations have expressed concerns about the impact on the ICC's work. And now for the weather. Present weather is cloudy skies with showers. Winds are a fresh breeze of 20 miles per hour from a northeasterly direction. The temperature for today is 27 degrees Celsius or 80 degrees Fahrenheit. Seas are 1.8 to 2.4 meters or 68 feet. A small craft advisory is in effect. The weather forecast for today predicts brief cloudy spells with a 60% or moderate chance of showers. Tonight will be partly cloudy skies with a 60% or moderate chance of brief showers. Sunset for today will be at 6:10 p.m. and sunrise for tomorrow will be at 6:40 a.m. And that brings us to the end of the ZIZ Midday Newscast. Join us for these stories and more in detail. Thank you for tuning in. I'm your presenter, Shanique Harvey.